Hello everybody and welcome back to another drawing that I'm doing here with a Sharpie pen on my big sketchbook. And this is a smooth paper in my sketchbook. And I think the sketchbook is 18 by 24 inches. I believe so. I'll have to take a look at the other side of it. But I honestly have no idea what I'm going to draw before I make a drawing. But I just sat down, I start making some shapes, and then before I know it, I've got a drawing, I have a doodle, and I think that's how a lot of doodling goes. You make a line or a dot, and it's pretty much just a series of lines and dots organized in different patterns. And I think that's what makes mandalas so interesting to look at, because of the symmetry of it, and it allows it to look very symmetrical on all different sides. And by the way, this drawing, I didn't use a protractor. I believe that's what you call it, a protractor. And it's what you use to make, really straight lines or circles or triangles. And I didn't use that. I just kind of eyed it and tried to make everything line up properly. But I think it came out okay. Although towards the end, when the drawing was getting bigger, the mandala starts to, the shape of it starts looking a bit strange. But the beginning of it, I think, is I did very good. I just made a repeating pattern of triangles and all these jagged edges and angles, and a bunch of lines mostly. But yeah. So how's everything going for you? Everything going good? Things have been going good for me. I just do the usual thing every day of getting up, eating, stretching, drawing, working, coming home, eating, stretching, drawing, and repeating. And while I'm drawing, I put on a podcast or I listen to some music. And a lot of the podcasts I listen to is about science and psychology, along those lines. But every hour I take a 10-minute break, and it helps me get new ideas for my drawing. I can step back, look at it, think about what I've created. Think about it while I'm stretching or eating something, because you don't want to set too long, because then you're just you're not going to feel that great. You want to move around, and I thought about doing a bigger mandala drawing, something that's like the size of my wall. Maybe a little bit smaller, maybe like 3 feet by 4 feet, something like that. And I think if I was to do a drawing that big, I would probably just lay the paper on the floor and draw it that way, because at my job I'm standing for most of the day, so I don't want to have to stand for hours after I've already been working, because then my legs are going to get tired, and then I'm not going to really want to go and stand for any longer, But anyways, this pattern here, as you can tell, is a bunch of circles, and I just draw those circles over and over again until I end up making a pattern that looks like a road, or maybe fish scales, or the scales on a snake. Kind of in a way it looks like you're looking down on a building, some kind of tower, and maybe there's like little pebble roads beside it. I guess sometimes when you do a drawing and you look at it later, you're like, what was I thinking during that? But for me, most of the time, I don't really think of anything while I'm drawing. I just draw things, and they end up being things. And then people ask me, what is that? And I have no idea. I just made it. I didn't have a plan. I just went into it, started making some lines here and there, and before I knew it, I had a pattern. And that was that. I mean, think of something extremely simple, like a dot. Just one little dot. But if you take that dot and repeat it over and over and over and over again, you can make a portrait. Same with a circle. You can draw really tiny circles and end up making portraits, or you can do it with different shapes, like triangles or hexagons or anything else, or squares. You just completely change the look of a drawing by repeating a pattern over and over. And that's what I did here. I made a shape, I made some triangles, I made some lines, I repeated some circles, and then I made like half circles all around the edges. And then I drew that again, and ended up making what looks to me like an intricate mandala. Most of my drawings I've done take me about an hour, but these take me maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours. So when an hour's gone by, for example during the recording, it's 3 minutes for every hour of video. And so when I look at my camcorder and 3 minutes has gone by as far as the time-lapse recording, I know that I've been drawing for an hour. And then I get up, I stretch, I eat something, move around for about 10 minutes and stretch and eat, and then I draw again for an hour. And then I just do that. If I have a day where I'm drawing all day, I will just repeat that all day. But I do have a lot of drawings. I did have, I'm going to mention, I've been asking and some polls about what you want me to draw or anything else, or requests from anybody. And it seems like the next thing somebody wants me to draw with is the Lame Safari, which I will do, but it's just a matter of uploading it because I have hundreds and actually thousands of videos to upload. And for like every video I edit and upload, I have done 10 more drawings. So some days I dedicate more time to only uploading videos, and then other days I just do drawing. But the days that I only draw, I will just do a drawing that takes longer, like this one, which took me 2 hours. Although most people think 2 hours is not long a drawing, but I draw for 10 hours a day, but I'm doing many drawings. I don't really like doing one drawing and working on it for a long time, because I have so many other ideas of things I want to create that I can't put in the drawing. It doesn't go with it. So then I feel like I'm being held back creatively. Kind of like, for example, if I'm drawing a portrait and I've got all these other ideas for things I want to draw, but I'm drawing a realistic portrait. I don't want to make doodles in it. I want it to look hyper realistic. And so that's the goal of that drawing. Although I could combine both, but I just prefer doing one type of thing, either doing doodles or doing portraits. Now, if I do a portrait, I'll do the entire portrait, get it done, and then I can make abstract doodles and all that around it. I think that's something I could do, but I prefer to doodle more than anything and make kind of abstract stuff. But yeah, mostly mandalas and pretty much anything you draw is just a series of lines or dots, unless you're shading. But shading is pretty much the same thing. I mean, if you take a pencil and you're shading something, it's just extremely tiny dots of graphite that is being pressed across the paper to make a shade. And that's pretty much all. But yeah, I'm going to be doing more of these mandalas. I want to get into doing more intricate and detailed ones. So I'm going to try and get through this entire sketchbook. I do have this one, which is really smooth drawing paper. And I switched over to using one that's just maybe an inch smaller on each side. And I want to get through this whole thing. I think it's about 125 pages. But once I get the sketchbooks done, as I always do, I do a review on it. Although I think there's a couple of sketchbooks I still have to upload. I just have to finish editing them and then upload them to my channel, because as I said, I have so many videos to edit. And yeah, a lot of drawing. Although sometimes it feels like work, but I don't want it to feel that way. I just want to have fun. But anyways, thank you for watching. Like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next video.